Their Excellencies, the Right Honourable Dame Patsy Reddy, Governor-General of New Zealand, and Sir David Gascoigne.
Haere mai rā, nā manuhiri tū a rani wai tapu e. Kawe a mai rā, tātou manuhiri tēnei rā, kia whakanui e tātou e. Haere mai rā.
Tai ea. Tai ea tēnei momo, tai ea tēnā momo whakatai rangatia. Whakamānawatia te toki atu, whakamānawatia te rau orongo. Oi whiwhi a te tohu, oi rawe a te tohu, oi tā mau a te tohu, taumata rau tia te tohu, haumi e, hui e, tāhi e.
E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hoe whā. Tēnei aku mihi mahana ki a koutou. Kia ora tātou katoa. Nau mai haere mai rā ki te whare kawana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, warm greetings to you all and welcome to Government House. I specifically acknowledge the Honourable Poto Williams, Minister of the Crown, our kuia Dr. Heria Hape, and our kaumātua Professor Piri Shasha. Tēnā koutou. It's a real pleasure to host this investiture ceremony and bring together 13 honour recipients along with their family and friends to recognise the contributions they've made to our country. As Governor-General, I have the authority and the privilege on behalf of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of New Zealand, to hold an investiture for her and to confer the honours to which each recipient is entitled. Ladies and gentlemen, as each one is honoured, I invite you to join me in congratulating and thanking them for their service to our country. Mr. Ward Kamel will now summon the recipients and read a citation for each one.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Yvonne Willering of Auckland, for services to netball. Yvonne Willering has been a contract defence coach for a number of New Zealand ANZ netball teams. She coached the Fijian national team, guiding them to victory at the South Pacific Games in 2003. She is a current member of the Coaching Advisory Panel of the International Netball Federation. In this role, she has delivered defensive coaching workshops to international coaches. Ms. Willering is a netball commentator for Sports Radio and has been a panel member and judge for the Trust's Sport Waitakere Excellence Awards for many years. She has been head coach of the Netball North Shore Old Girls for the Tuesday night club competition. And she's been a guest speaker for various netball associations and to Probus Club meetings in the Auckland region. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Mawhawhau Tua of Auckland, for services to youth, boxing and the community. Whamuina Toiletai David Mafawautua concluded his boxing career in 2013 and then shifted his focus to mentoring, training and supporting young people, families and communities. He was an ambassador for Turn Your Life Around youth development program. He established and runs David Tour Health and Fitness Limited and initiated the David Tour Leaders Program. He partnered with the Skills Update Training Institute to deliver programs for youth not in education, employment or training. His gym was involved with Mercury Energy's Christmas Boxes initiative for families who could not afford Christmas presents. He's been a guest speaker at numerous events and an ambassador for the Salvation Army's Homelessness Crusade. Mr. Tua is a member of the Homai Primary Board of Trustees and the Healthy Families Board of Trustees. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Ms. Sheila Nair of Auckland for services to ethnic communities and women. Sheila Nair has been pivotal in Shakti's growth from a local ethnic community organisation in Auckland to an umbrella organisation, Shakti Community Council Inc., with specialist refuges and centres around the country. She completed a master's degree in counselling and works to support the mentally unwell, including survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Her focus has been on supporting Asian, African and Middle Eastern women, and she has advocated for legislation against forced and underage marriage. She has been on the New Zealand Family Violence Task Force, the reference group to the Social Development Minister developing the Vulnerable Children's Act and the Safe and Effective Justice Program Advisory Group. Mr. Neville Phillips of Hawera for services to youth. Neville Phillips is the founder and CEO of Start Taranaki, a youth program that offers support to serious young offenders. Start Taranaki is one of the few programs in New Zealand that is committed to working with high-end youth offenders. The program has 3 phases, ranging from a 3-week isolation phase in the bush with outdoor activities to a 12-week transition phase wherein Start continues to mentor and support the young men when they return to their communities. Mr. Phillips has provided the young men with important opportunities that teach them the value of skills such as conflict resolution and honest communication, personal responsibility, and maximising potential. Mrs. Lane Leatatipi of Waitakere for services to Pacific communities and education. Toi Ole Surusuru Lane Leatatipi worked as a liaison for Pacific parents and secondary schools in Auckland in the 1990s. She established the licensed Samoan language preschool Leateata Tupulanga o Le Pasifika, which now also offers classes for adults on a wide range of life skills. Mrs. Tipi has served on a number of local school boards of trustees. She is a Justice of the Peace and the Samoan representative for the Waitakere City Council. She is the chair for the Samoan Teachers Association Waitemata and Waitakere City for Early Childhood Education. Mrs. Tipi has helped establish the early childhood sector within the Ministry of Education's community of learners. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mrs. Marie Bernasconi of Pukekohe for services to netball. Marie Bernasconi has held many roles within the Pukekohe Netball Centre Executive, including Executive President. She continues to serve as Office Administrator for the club. She volunteered as a coach coordinator for the Pukekohe Netball Centre and Counties Netball Union, and later became an elected board member for Netball Counties Manukau. She raised funds to rebuild the Pukekohe Netball Complex, extend and resurface the courts, and build a canopy cover. She has assisted many other sporting organisations with funding and grant applications. Mrs. Bernasconi established and implemented coaching clinics in Pukekohe and runs a summer social netball league. Mrs. Carol Dixon of Drury for services to the community. Carol Dixon was a coordinator for neighbourhood support with Papakura District Council and Auckland Council. She created a large network of residents and supported them with tools and networking skills. She was the Foundation Secretary of Neighbourhood Support New Zealand Inc. and established the Papakura Community Crime Watch Patrol. She is a volunteer trustee to Community Patrols of New Zealand, where she holds the role of secretary. She is a Justice of the Peace and regularly attends JP Clinic Days in Pukekohe. Mrs. Dixon has been involved in local badminton clubs as a player and a secretary, president and organiser. Ms. Falaholangi of Auckland for services to the Pacific community and workers' rights. Falaholangi is a union organiser and Komiti Pasifika member with E2, where she has participated in campaigns for living wage, equal pay, migrant workers' rights and climate change. She served on the Police Pacific Advisory Group for the Auckland District and represents E2 and the Pacific Voice in the Temporary Migrant Workers Exploitation Community Group with the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment. She has been a board member of the Migrant Action Trust in Auckland and co-convener of the Pacific Women's Watch New Zealand Incorporated. She is an announcer for the Tuvaluan program on Radio 531 PR.
Living wage. Porto, you saw that, living wage?
Mrs. Sangā Malua of Auckland for services to the Tuvaluan community. Sangā Malua is Secretary and former Treasurer of the Tuvalu Auckland Community Trust. She has undertaken and participated in research projects on the Tuvalu community with the University of Auckland and supported programs focused on education and social services outcomes to benefit families, their communities and Pacific students. She served as a member of the Minister of Pacific Island Affairs Advisory Council and a member of the Ministry of Education Northern Region Pasifika Advisory Group. Ms. Malua coordinates the annual Tuvalu Language Week and Tuvalu Independence Day for the Tuvalu Auckland Community Trust. Mr. Roderick McClay of Auckland for services to music and education. Roderick McClay volunteered as conductor of the Auckland Youth Symphonic Band, AYSB, for many years and continues to teach brass and woodwind instruments at primary and intermediate schools. He conducted the recorder group and the concert band at the Auckland Primary Principals Association, APPA, Music Festival. He was also involved with other activities as a teacher, choir trainer, conductor and administrator. Because of limited school resources, he supplied instruments for children and organised an annual musical camp for Bruce McLaren Intermediate School students. Mr. McClay has been involved as a performer and musical director of Auckland Musical Theatre Productions. Mr. Martin Norrie of Rotorua for services to the community. Martin Norrie was CEO of Cunningham Lindsay New Zealand and helped negotiate complex complaints as chairperson following the Christchurch earthquakes. He has volunteered his time to assist not-for-profit organisations. He helped found Parachute Music, a charitable music organisation that hosted an annual festival. He serves on the board of Carrie Baptist College and personally mentors the college's leadership staff. He is the chair of the Sports Chaplaincy New Zealand board and has provided leadership advice to the organisation's CEOs. Mr. Norrie is on the board of Arrow Leadership, which provides training to church leadership throughout New Zealand. Ms. Catherine Orbell of Hamilton for services to music. Catherine Orbell was a founding member and principal flautist of Opus, the first professional Waikato Bay of Plenty orchestra. She is the Waikato District Contest Organiser for Chamber Music New Zealand, organising the local rounds of the NZCT Chamber Music Contest for secondary school students. She runs an annual flute festival featuring an international guest artist who teaches a weekend of masterclasses, technique sessions, and pedagogical lectures and recitals. Ms. Orbell is a founding member of the ensemble Waikato Baroque, a past member of the Hamilton Civic and Anglican Cathedral choirs, and an itinerant flute teacher in Waikato schools. Mrs. Lynn Pellow of Auckland for services to netball. Lynn Pellow began her involvement with Auckland Netball as an administrator. She continues to serve on the Games Judiciary and Representative Committee. She was a member of the Centennial Committee that organised events to celebrate 100 years of Auckland Netball. She has represented the Auckland region at Netball New Zealand Council meetings and has served as a judicial chair in judiciary hearings. Mrs. Pellow assists with the grading of more than 900 teams at the commencement of each season and provides support for regrading as the competitions progress. During tournament season, she compiles the draws and provides volunteer support. Your Excellency, the investiture is concluded.
An investiture ceremony is the most important event that I hold on behalf of Her Majesty, the Queen of New Zealand. It allows me, as Governor-General, to recognise and thank an extraordinary group of people on behalf of all New Zealanders. By using their talents to make ours a better society, whether by service to their communities or by their leadership in diverse fields, or their commitment to excellence in their field of expertise, our recipients have set a fine example to others, encouraging them in their own endeavours. To the recipients, it's been a privilege to hear your stories today. You have demonstrated determination, commitment and compassion in your daily lives. In your own way, each of you has helped make New Zealand a better place to live. In some cases, your influence and the positive impact of your work has extended beyond our shores. Your actions and the stories we've heard reflect the spirit of the words of Mahatma Gandhi when he said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." Your contributions have enriched the cultural, social and economic fabric of Aotearoa, New Zealand. Please wear your insignia with pride, knowing that your communities appreciate and value your work and are inspired by your example. On behalf of the Queen of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements and I thank you for your service to our country. Kia ora puiwi tātou katoa. Ladies and gentlemen, that almost brings to a close the formal part of today's ceremony. But before we break for refreshments, may I ask you to stand and sing with me our national anthem. The words are on the back of your program.